They walk among us. Figures who commit acts so profound, so devastating, they sear themselves into our collective consciousness. We remember their names. We dissect their motives. We even, sometimes, elevate them to a strange, dark celebrity. This is an uncomfortable truth about human nature. A paradox. For while we condemn their actions, we are irresistibly drawn to their stories. Why? What is it about the criminal mind that grips us so fiercely, far more than the tragic ripples it leaves behind? Think of the names that echo through history, through true crime documentaries, through the very fabric of our popular culture. The calculated killers. The cunning con artists. The manipulators who bent reality to their will. Their stories become legends, whispered warnings, or morbid curiosities. We study their every move, their childhoods, their methods. A relentless pursuit of understanding, perhaps. But understanding what, exactly? What void does this dark knowledge fill within us? Yet, the victims. Their names. Their lives. The profound, heartbreaking tragedy they endured. They often recede into the background. Mere footnotes in the sprawling narratives of their tormentors. A cruel irony, perhaps. The suffering, the shattered lives, the irreparable loss, these fade, while the perpetrator's narrative, perverse as it may be, takes center stage. Is this a societal failing? Or something deeper? A built-in mechanism, hidden within our very psyche? Could it be wired into us? A primal fascination with the destructive, the aberrant? Evolutionarily speaking, understanding danger is survival. Is our intense focus on those who harm merely an extreme form of threat assessment? To dissect the predator, to comprehend the truly other, in a desperate, subconscious attempt to protect ourselves? Or is it something far more complex, a darker curiosity that transcends mere self-preservation? A pull toward the void itself. There is a forbidden knowledge, a secret understanding held by those who transgress societal norms, who break fundamental taboos. They operate beyond the boundaries we construct, beyond the rules that govern us. And we are drawn to that forbidden realm. We yearn to peek behind the curtain, to glimpse the chaos, to comprehend the mindset that allows such profound deviation. It's an exploration of the absolute limits of human behavior. And perhaps, a tiny, uncomfortable recognition of the possibilities within ourselves. Some criminals, especially con artists or master manipulators, exhibit a chilling brilliance, a meticulous planning, an understanding of human psychology so profound it can bend wills. This is not to glorify them. Not at all. But to acknowledge the dark craftsmanship, the sheer audacity of vision, however twisted. To observe such a mind in action, even through the lens of history, can be mesmerizing. A macabre intellectual exercise. A dark puzzle, daring us to solve it. The eternal question, why? Why do some choose this path, while others recoil? Is it nature, nurture, or a confluence of both? We endlessly seek the origin story of evil, the seminal moment, the twisted logic. Perhaps we believe that if we can truly understand the why, we can prevent it. Or, more unsettlingly, perhaps we simply desire to understand the capacity for darkness, to map its terrain, to know what lies in the deepest corners of the human psyche. There is also the undeniable, albeit twisted, aspect of power. Absolute power. The power to decide another's fate, to manipulate, to control, to dominate. This kind of power, though horrifying in its application, can be strangely captivating. It represents a transgression of the most fundamental social contract. And our curiosity compels us to examine the individuals who dare to wield such destructive force. What does it feel like? What does it demand? And what does it say about those who watch? This is where it gets truly uncomfortable. Our fascination with the worst people alive quietly reveals something about ourselves. Is there a shadow self within each of us? A capacity for darker thoughts, for selfish desires, for destructive impulses, carefully suppressed by societal norms and personal morality? Do we look at these figures, these extreme deviations, and in some distant, unsettling way, see a distorted reflection? A part of humanity we wish to deny, yet cannot fully ignore. The tension is palpable. On one hand, empathy for the victims, the demand for justice, the clear moral condemnation. On the other, the undeniable pull of fascination, the intellectual curiosity, the hunger for understanding. These two forces often collide within us, creating a cognitive dissonance. We claim to hate them, and truly, we do. Yet we can't look away. This internal struggle highlights the complex, often contradictory nature of human emotion and intellect. Our media, from ancient myths to modern streaming services, reflects and amplifies this fascination. True crime has exploded, captivating millions. Podcasts, documentaries, books, all dissecting the darkest corners of human behavior. Is the media merely catering to an existing human impulse? Or does it, in its endless pursuit of compelling narratives, inadvertently contribute to the legend building, further blurring the lines between condemnation and captivating spectacle? It's a symbiotic relationship, both reflecting and shaping our collective gaze. Society functions on boundaries, rules, laws. The criminal, by definition, transgresses these boundaries. They defy the unspoken agreements that hold our communities together. This transgression is, in itself, a powerful subject of study. What happens when the lines are crossed? What are the consequences? And what can we learn about the necessity of those boundaries by observing those who utterly disregard them? It's a stark lesson in the fragility of order, delivered by chaos. Perhaps it is also a deep-seated fear, the fear of the unseen predator, the wolf in sheep's clothing. We want to understand how they blend in, how they deceive, how they operate without detection, so that we might better identify and avoid them. It's a survival instinct, honed over millennia, a desperate need to spot the danger before it strikes, to look for the tells, the subtle signs that signal a capacity for immense harm, lurking beneath a veneer of normalcy. Where do these individuals truly fall on the spectrum of humanity? Are they fundamentally different? Or are they simply the extreme manifestations of traits present, in smaller doses, within many? The drive for self-interest, the capacity for deception, the desire for control. Examining the criminal mind forces us to confront this uncomfortable question. It blurs the lines, challenging our easy definitions of good and evil, pushing us to consider a more complex reality. Our collective obsession with these figures acts as a disturbing mirror. It reflects our anxieties, our fears, our very human struggle with morality. What does it say about a society that so readily immortalizes its villains, while its heroes, or its suffering, often go unsung? This isn't about blaming the curious. It's about understanding the profound cultural impact of this deep-seated fascination, and what it might quietly reveal about the values we, perhaps unconsciously, prioritize. Walking this ethical tightrope is precarious. How do we engage with these stories without inadvertently glorifying the perpetrators or diminishing the profound pain of their victims? It requires a conscious effort, an awareness of the fine line between intellectual curiosity and morbid voyeurism. The true challenge lies not in suppressing the fascination, for it seems intrinsic, but in directing it toward meaningful understanding rather than mere spectacle. Beyond the shocking headlines and sensationalized narratives lies a deeper purpose. If we are to truly understand human nature, we must look at its full spectrum, the light, and the profound darkness, not to condone, but to comprehend, to dissect the mechanics of evil, not out of admiration, but out of a desperate need for knowledge. Because within that understanding, however uncomfortable, might lie the keys to prevention, to healing, to a future less marred by such acts. Our enduring quest for answers, even in the darkest corners, defines us. It's a testament to our insatiable curiosity, to our relentless drive to make sense of the senseless, and perhaps to our subconscious hope that by illuminating the abyss, we can somehow lessen its power. This uncomfortable journey into the criminal mind isn't about celebration. It's about an essential, if unsettling, exploration of what it means to be human, in all its terrifying potential. What does our obsession with the worst people alive quietly reveal about ourselves? It shows a species grappling with its own capacity for both creation and destruction. It highlights our desperate need for order, even as we are drawn to chaos. It reveals our vulnerabilities, our fears, and our profound desire to feel safe. And in confronting these truths, however stark, we gain a deeper, albeit unsettling, understanding of the human condition itself. Acknowledging this inherent fascination is the first step. not to wallow in it, but to understand its roots, its implications, to recognize that the human mind is a vast, complex landscape, capable of both immense beauty and unimaginable horror. We claim to hate them, yet we can't look away. And perhaps that inability to look away is not a weakness, but a profound, if painful, necessity. A constant reminder of the vigilance required to protect our light from the encroaching shadows. The paradox persists. The names of perpetrators etched into memory, while their victims fade. Our discomfort is real, but so is our curiosity. This is the human condition, a complex tapestry woven with threads of light and shadow, empathy and morbid fascination. And in daring to gaze into the abyss, perhaps we don't just learn about the monsters. We learn about ourselves, about the fragile line, and the endless quest to understand what truly lies within the human heart.